Hi guys, welcome to module 3, and in this short video I just wanted to cover the question, what do I teach? And I've already touched upon this in the previous module, and basically, as I've already said, I teach that there is not a quick fix for social anxiety, at least not in my experience or in the experience of my clients. Social anxiety has developed over a long time, most likely with you, as it did with me and with my other clients. It's possibly taken years for these behaviors and these thought processes to form and take root, and I'm not saying it's going to take years to undo them, but it may take some time and some concerted effort to do that. So first of all, what I teach is that there's no quick fix. I call BS on any of this stuff on the internet that I see, EFT tapping and all this other stuff. If it works for you, that's great, but in my experience with myself and other people, it doesn't work. There's no quick fix. This is a serious problem. It's a real problem. We're talking about who you are, how you go around in the world, how you feel about that, how you feel about yourself, how you carry yourself, where you see yourself in social dominance hierarchies. Why can't you make eye contact? Why don't you feel comfortable in your own skin? Why don't you love yourself? You know, where did these messages come from? Why don't you like yourself? Why do you criticize and overanalyze yourself? So these are questions which take some real digging into. It's not like I'm just going to sit cross-legged and think of some positive messages and tap myself and listen to this relaxing soundtrack and take this herbal supplement. I don't believe that that works, because for me, social anxiety is about rebuilding yourself. And as I said, another thing I teach is that social anxiety is more a symptom than a problem in itself. So for example, anxiety is not a problem. Depression is not necessarily a problem in itself. They are like alarm systems. So if you try to get rid of anxiety and depression, you're trying to get rid of the alarm system, which is telling you something in my life is not right, okay? When I went into a hairdresser when I was 19, 20, whatever, and I sat down and I freaked out because I was looking at myself in the mirror and I had to make conversation and I was sweating, that was telling me that's an alarm system. You do not like your own appearance. You do not like yourself. So I don't want to attack the alarm system. That would be like having a fire and the alarm going off, and to get rid of the fire alarm, you go and smash the fire alarm rather than put the fire out, okay? So social anxiety is like a fire alarm. You don't want to just turn off the fire alarm. You want to get to the underlying problem of why that alarm is going off. Why are you blushing? Why are you sweating? Why are you feeling so uncomfortable around other people? And it's because of how you feel about yourself generally. So that's another thing that I talk about, is that it's more of a symptom than a problem in itself. The main body of what I talk about in dealing with social anxiety, as I said, is Triceps. Okay, and I like this because it's easy to remember. It's to do with fitness, which I'm very keen on and which became a major part of me overcoming social anxiety. It sounds quite muscular, and I think you need to take a muscular approach to overcoming social anxiety. It's no good, in my experience, lying in bed and thinking, yeah, I would quite like to get rid of this problem maybe one day. For me, it was like, fuck this, this has gone on way too long. I need to get pumped up and take serious action on this. You know, I need to throw myself into this, and that's how it gets done. That's my approach, okay? That's what I teach. It might not be ideal for you, it might not resonate with your personality or whatever, but that is my approach, and that's what is working for my clients and what's worked for me. So as I said, the tricep, as you can guess from the name and as I've talked about before, has 3 elements. So the first one is lifestyle, or you can also, I also refer to this as the foundations, and this is things like sleep, exercise, etc. Now this might sound really basic, but the important part of this is that I talk about keystone habits, okay? Keystone habits. Now, a keystone habit, this is talked about by Charles Duhigg in his book, The Power of Habit, which is an excellent book. At least half of it is really worth reading. And a keystone habit is a habit which changes everything else, okay? So for example, meditation. Maybe if you get up in the morning, you meditate, you're then more relaxed, you don't want to drink that coffee, you then don't feel so anxious, you then have a better breakfast and you're more mellow or whatever. For me, the biggest keystone habit in my life, which just started a whole ripple out effect for overcoming social anxiety, was exercise. Okay, and I incidentally came to overcoming social anxiety through my exercise. I looked at myself, I was in shit shape, my life was a mess. I thought, I'm gonna go to the gym. Started going to the gym. What happened then? I didn't want to eat crap. I'd just been to the gym. I thought, I'm not gonna eat, fried chicken because I want to, get the gains from my workout. I don't want to undo that good work. So then I ate better. I'd done some exercise, I ate better. I was also thirsty, so I was hydrating myself. When I got home, I didn't just sit up and watch TV like I usually did. I was tired. I went to bed at like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. I'd been doing heavy squats. I was exhausted. Went to bed, slept really well, like a baby. I was so tired. I didn't have that anxious mental worrying. Next morning, woke up, felt better, felt happy to wake up. Didn't just crawl out of bed depressed like I had been before. I was pumped up and I was actually looking forward to my next workout because that workout had released a lot of endorphins and I was already starting to get excited about exercise. Once I got that done, I was getting stronger physically. I started to then look around my house and think, look, this is a mess. There's clothes everywhere. There's books everywhere. I need to sort this crap out. So I started to tidy that up. When I started to tidy that up, I thought, what other areas of my life could I tidy up and get in order? Oh shit, I've been socially anxious my whole life. I don't have a girlfriend. I sit at home masturbating all day. I can't speak in front of groups of people. I can barely hold a conversation with my clients, with my colleagues. I scuttle around feeling nervous in the workplace. I overthink everything. Right, I'm going to get that handled. And that all came about from building this keystone habit of exercise. So that's the first level of Tricep, is to get your lifestyle in order, to form a keystone habit, whatever it may be. 5 minutes of running in the morning, meditation, making your bed. It doesn't matter, exercise might not be for you, but I do highly recommend exercise because almost every single person, their body, they can't help but respond to exercise. You start running and then it has a physiological change on you, which then also has a neurological change as well. It's like something you can't really fight. Secondly, I talk about rewiring, and we've talked about this earlier, and I really should have spaced this out on the board better, I apologise. But this is to do with neuroplasticity, okay? Your brain is plastic. If you're sitting watching this and you're thinking, yeah, that's great, Ed, but I'm 35, I can't change this, I'm 40, I'm 45, I've been like this my whole life. I'm afraid I'm calling BS on that. The brain is plastic. It can change all the way up until you die. And there's actually a fantastic book here, which I'm reading, which is called The Brain That Changes Itself. And he talks about neuroplasticity in that book and talks about the ability for the brain to change. So social anxiety thrives on neural networks you've built up, which is like going outside equals pain equals humiliation. By exposing yourself differently to those stimuli, going to the hairdresser, having a successful experience, driving the car, not having a freak out, you then can rewire your stimulus, and that is neuroplasticity. And thirdly, I teach about taking action, and this is exposure therapy, okay? Exposure, how to plan your challenges. Really, you can study as much theory as you like, and as a social anxiety sufferer, there's a good chance you have Googled the hell out of social anxiety and you know all the theory already. But, you know, I have a number of clients who know all the theory, but what we've worked on together is actually taking action. And in my experience, that's where you really see the results. By actually going out and doing stuff you never thought you would do, you then start to reform this image of like, wow, I didn't think I was the sort of person that could do that kind of thing. And then you start to change your self-image and change your self-esteem. There's also other stuff I teach around this action, like how to prepare for it, how to keep yourself safe during taking action, and also how to interpret it afterwards, okay? So we can go into that in more detail in the later modules, but that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover in this module, just a basic outline of what I teach, the Triceps method. First of all, there's no quick fix. Social anxiety is more a symptom than a problem in itself. Don't break the fire alarm, actually try and put out the fire. And the Triceps method, which is building a keystone habit to get the foundational blocks of lifestyle in place, then working on to neurological cognitive rewiring, then taking action. And then the thing is here, once you've done that, this then also feeds back into other lifestyle changes, which I want to talk about. Once you're changing yourself, there may be other elements of lifestyle you need to then go back and look at. For example, what kind of relationship am I in? What kind of people am I hanging out with? What kind of job have I let myself fall into or am I in? Yeah, and that all comes after you've built a more positive self-image and you're further down the line. You can then go back and there's other elements of lifestyle that may need to be addressed again, which then feed back into all of it. So that's everything for this module. I'll see you all in module 4.